AMSOIL Expedition Colorado. Here's the plan. 5 days, 550 miles from Colorado Springs to Moab in a 1943 Willys MB. We're looking for adventure close to home. You know, rewinding time and being in this Jeep, definitely more challenging than in some of these more modern vehicles.
And we're out here, regardless of how you're doing it, you're seeing things that people haven't seen and experiencing the way that things were 100 years ago. This is how people got across Colorado on these mountain passes that we're doing. That was the only way.
It's going to be an adventure and we're going to give it a shot.
Join us for an exclusive inside look. Connect with racers, gearheads, and others pursuing their passions. Welcome to the AMSOIL Signature Series.
We're here at Level Racing headquarters. We've had this trip planned for months. We kind of got to shoot from the hip on this trip. We've got a beautiful Colorado morning ahead of us here. We're taking off from downtown Colorado Springs. We're running through the Front Range up to Cripple Creek, taking some roads I've never seen from there, down into some pretty remote parts of Colorado. Behind me is the Antlers Hotel. It's burned down twice in the history of Colorado Springs, but one thing that's never changed is the fact this is the 00 block, Colorado Springs, the original center of town, the official start of the AMSOIL Expedition Colorado. This really is going back to our roots, and I feel that, you know, this is how we got into racing, this is how we got into rock crawling, Baja, and it's what we'll be doing after we're done with all that stuff.
So we're going to head out. We've got 550 miles between us and Moab, Utah, which is our destination. We've got some high mountain passes I grew up on. I'm really excited to get back out there and see them because a number of them I haven't been on in years. See some parts of Colorado that I've never seen before. Get up in the high mountains, head for the desert, and get down to Moab and see some slick rock.
Gotta cool down at this point, you know.
Dang, that's good.
I think we should just try to go slow.
Yeah.
Let it cool down as we go.
Let's just cut the pace and.
But I just want to go fast.
You always want to go fast. See what going fast teaches you?
It is getting a little bit warm. The temperature gauge maxes out at 212, which is about the boiling point of water at sea level. So I've had some recent bad luck with overheating vehicles. I don't want to do it to this one, but it seems to be holding in there, and we're putting all 60 horsepower to the ground. Had a great first day, bunch of nice weather, really hot, a lot of heat, caused the Jeep to overheat a couple times, vapor lock. So we've been fighting that, but that thing's a runner. I've been running it just like I run the race cars, as fast as it can go, and finally we eased up a little bit and slowed off of that, but a bunch of great scenery, big hills, ups and downs. We're here at the end of day one. As you can tell, we got a little bit of rain going. We stopped short of getting into the big mountains because the weather's looking really nasty up there. It's going good. We're going to get through this little rainstorm here and move on tomorrow. We're at the start of day 2 of the AMSOIL Expedition Colorado, and today it gets a lot more serious. We're going to be up above timberline of these rolling thunderstorms. It's important we get up there, get over the mountains before the storms move in. And it's going to be a challenge for the Jeep too. We're hitting altitudes up and over 12,000 feet, and I don't really know how this thing's going to run up there, but it's a proven vehicle and we're going to give it some more proof. We're here in the historic mining town of St. Elmo, which is right below the Continental Divide. This town served all the mines where they were pulling gold ore out up above timberline here. It was a really harsh environment back in the late 1800s. So we're going to go up and see some of those mines and take Hancock Pass right up and over the Continental Divide. We just came up to the top of Hancock Pass. We're on the Continental Divide, and I tell you, this is one of the points that had me a little bit worried. You know, it's definitely a milestone for this. We're 12,140 feet. It's not the highest point we're going to get to, but again, at least, you know, we're getting up into that realm.
I've been friends with the Levels for probably 10 years now. We race with them in the Ultra 4 Series, and when Brad said he was going to do this adventure with his kids in this Willys Jeep going to Moab, it was awesome. I mean, he's teaching his kids a lifetime experience, so I get to kind of help guide them along today through the section of the country that I know. Adventures like this are so important, especially with the kids. We're seeing a part of the world that most people don't ever see. They see this thing at 30, 40,000 in a jet going over. They see it from the highway. They think they've been to Colorado and they've seen the beauty of it. Being here and just experiencing it is just something that the average person doesn't get to see.
The day started off going over Hancock, which was a challenge. Then we got over to Cumberland, which is fairly good. And right at the bottom of Cumberland, when we moved into Tin Cup, the weather got bad and we had some real challenges. So Tin Cup Pass is a lot tougher than I remember it. And you know, it's raining and hailing and lightning coming up. It got pretty serious, you know. I don't want to go above timberline. With lightning out here. And, well, this is a rough patch here for sure. We're having trouble getting it to run. Really rainy on this hill. So I'm going to try to work it around here a little bit. Luckily, we had enough problems with the Jeep that we didn't have to go above timberline when there was lightning. I think I have we thought maybe a clogged fuel filter. But that doesn't look good, does it?
No, that's packed full of mud and dirt. Oh wow.
Let's try it.
Try it. Here.
We cleaned out the fuel filter, that wasn't it. It's running all right, but I had to get pulled up some of those hills. So we got up near the top of the pass there and the sun finally came out. And boy, it sure felt good. And my hands were so cold and wet. You know, there wasn't too much to do. So we're getting down in lower elevation now. We'll have a look at the Jeep. Move on, but this is the adventure we wanted. Boy, we got into camp late last night and everything was waterlogged, so it's kind of a short and rough night. And it's about 7 o'clock this morning and we're working on the Jeep here, trying to get over this next pass, Pearl Pass. We hear there's a big ledge up there. And then we'll work our way down into Crest Butte. So just got to get this thing together. It's a bit of a bummer right now. We're up on Pearl Pass and we've hit snow pretty low down, which is kind of a surprise. We have a little drift up here that we could get by, but I hiked up half a mile or so and it's impassable. So this is really the one that we needed to make this thing happen. So instead we're gonna have to go down through Aspen and take some county roads and we'll get back out and get on our route. But we're looking at probably a 50-mile detour here. So it's kind of a bummer, but you know, we couldn't be surrounded by a better place. We had to do about a 50-mile detour, and it's not something I really wanted to do, but you know what? We're back on dirt, and I'm ready to be here. We're actually on schedule because those passes take so much time, and from here to Moab, I hope to not see many people or many towns, because this is what Expedition Colorado's about. So why are we driving a 43 Willys MB across Colorado? It feels like all we do is rush, rush, rush. And I want to do it to experience Colorado, to see Colorado and all its beauty in the summer, to show my boys what it's like, going camping and slowing down, because the world didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be that way 20 years ago, that you could get different places so conveniently. And I think we're adding a real sense of adventure, and we're seeing a different side of Colorado because we're slowing down and we're having to earn every bit of it. Climbed up onto Grand Mesa here, and we've been through these beautiful valleys and highlands and aspen forests, and I've never seen so many mud holes out here, so we've been having a great time doing some of these backwoods roads. And you know, we're within sight. We're on the downhill slide down there to Moab. So tomorrow I expect we're going to get out of the forest and start getting into some desert. But tonight we found a great camping spot and just a few minutes of sun left. We're going to have a campfire and a great time. We're kind of at our first stop for day 4. We're still up on Grand Mesa here, and it is absolutely beautiful. There's wildflowers everywhere, meadows. It's a little after 10:30, and you know, we should have been here yesterday, and because of the go around and everything, we're just getting here now. So there's no doubt in my mind we're earning every one of the 500 miles I thought we were going to do off-road, but it looks like it's going to be about a 600-mile trip.
I've always enjoyed the outdoors. I have a lot of friends that ask me, do I enjoy hunting, do I enjoy fishing? And the honest answer is no, I don't. What I enjoy is going out and exploring. They like to go to a lake and start fishing. Nah, I like to go to the lake, see the lake, and go find another one. So I always enjoy exploring new areas, seeing different things. And this was an opportunity to do it with my son. And my son's got the same bug as I do, and he's loving every minute of it. And it's something that I did with my dad, so this is even better.
We're at the top of Land's End, which is a pretty big deal. We have been fighting, we've been getting our butts kicked up on Grand Mesa here. We had 26 miles of super tight, going through forests, big hills, rocks, mud, everything in the world has put us behind schedule. We're about out of fuel, and we're at the edge of the world here. You can see over my shoulder the LaSalle Mountains. On the other side of those mountains is Moab, and it's still a long way. I got my buddy down here getting us fuel where we cross the highway so we can continue on, run out into the desert, but right now it's feeling pretty intense. Good news is we're in the desert now. We got a bunch of fuel, but we're running into some issues with gates. There are a lot of lock gates out here, and we're looking for routes. We got to get a little bit north of here to head west without being on highway. So, you know, we kind of got to the point tonight we're getting a little bit frustrated, so we just stopped, found a great place to camp up on top of a mesa here. We're adjusting the route. We're going to spend a little bit of time looking at the map tonight. We will be in Moab tomorrow. Day 5 of the AMSOIL Expedition Colorado. We just passed a sign back here that said Moab with an arrow pointing this way, so that makes us feel pretty good. The Jeep, pretty sure we got a blown head gasket. We're taking a little break now because it's hot. I think it's gonna make it to Moab. I don't know if it would make it going back the other way, but you know, that's what we're out here to do, is push the limit and find the edge of this stuff. So we just climbed up this gorgeous canyon and on top of the plateau, and so we're gonna go around the San Juan Mountains and then cut right down into Moab.
Exploring to me is just taking what you have and getting out there and finding something new. It doesn't matter what you have. You don't have to have a super capable vehicle to go out. Just take what you have and get out there.
Gosh, this ridge, that was the last ridge we had to get over to get on the Porcupine Rim Trail coming to Moab, and the road's closed. Couldn't believe it. We had to go down by the Colorado River, but it worked out great. We had a great swim in this heat. We made it, guys. We made it to Moab, Utah. We wanted to end this trip right here on Hell's Revenge. We came here for the red rock and the trails. Really couldn't be more excited. It was a huge challenge with this Jeep. You know, all in all, we made it. Stoked to be here.
Here we are in Moab, and I'm really excited to be here in Moab, and it's bittersweet because it's the end of our trip. It's the end of something that we've planned for you know, months on end. Family is really important to me. 20 years ago, I came out here to Moab for the first time with my brother. Now I'm out here with my son, my brother's kids, and I'm just really proud to be out here with my son and show him some of the things that I grew up doing. I mean, he's out here playing in the desert, and I know that in 20 years, I hope he's out here with his son doing the same thing that I'm doing right now.
The idea of this backcountry adventure started with my brother and I years ago when he first got his Bronco 2 and I ended up with a Ranger, and we always wanted to see where the road ends. We saw stuff in Colorado that we've never seen before, that I never knew that was out there. The beauty, the sheer ruggedness. There's adventure out here just like there's adventure in Baja. You got to look a little harder for it. You might have to put yourself in a 1943 Jeep to find it, but it's there.